Chapter 21 of Angel Food Time, Little Talks to Little Folks by Reverend Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Chapter 21 The Wooden Pony. Randy was a black and white pony. Now Randy wasn't a real, live, honest-to-goodness pony. Oh no! Randy was a wooden pony that jumped and galloped on a noisy old merry-go-round. Little children loved Randy because he was so small, and they liked to ride the black and white pony. At first, Randy enjoyed carrying excited children on his back, and he liked the music of the merry-go-round. But after a while, Randy tired of life because every day was the same for him. Every day he went up and down, around and around in a circle, but he went nowhere. The little pony longed to get away from the noise of the busy old merry-go-round. He longed to get away from the watchful eye of his father, who pranced and galloped right by his side. Yes, Randy wanted to run away. But Randy couldn't run away because he was fastened tightly to the noisy old merry-go-round. So there was nothing that the little pony could do except prance and gallop and run around in a circle. It was a hard life for a little pony, even though Randy was only a make-believe pony, a little black and white wooden pony. Well, one day last summer little Randy worked very hard. Some children had a picnic in the park, and Randy spent most of the day carrying a child on his back. That night the little pony was dizzy, and he ached with pain. Randy was never so tired in all his life. In fact, Randy was so tired that just as soon as the merry-go-round stopped, the little fellow fell asleep right on his feet. Now, I never knew that wooden ponies dream, but that night little Randy had a dream. Randy dreamt that he was a real live pony, a real black and white pony. And what do you think? In his dream, Randy decided to run away from his father. So run away the pony did. At first he was very happy. He was free and he could do as he pleased. Randy was certainly excited. But little ponies, you know, get hungry just like little children. So Randy stopped in an orchard to eat some apples, but an angry old farmer chased the pony away. When Randy stopped in a field to eat hay, a boy tried to lasso him with a rope. When the pony stopped at a brook to drink water, an ugly old bee stung him hard. Little Randy began to realize then that being a real live pony wasn't too much fun. Randy wished that he were back home with his father. He wanted to be just a little wooden pony prancing and galloping by his father's side on a noisy old merry-go-round. Randy was very sad until, all of a sudden, he heard music. He raised his ears and listened. Sure enough, it was real music, band music, and the little fellow dashed off in the direction of the music. He crossed several fields, and every minute the music became louder and louder. Finally, the little fellow stopped and smiled. Why, the music was coming from a circus band, and little Randy had never seen a circus. Randy walked slowly toward the circus tent, and as he drew near, he could hardly believe his eyes. Outside the tent stood 10 or 12 black and white ponies. Randy wondered whether the circus ponies would be friendly. Anyway, he decided to take a chance. Randy joined the group, but the other ponies paid no attention to him. Randy even tried to rub noses with the strangers, but the circus ponies moved away. That hurt little Randy, but just then a man dressed in white and carrying a long whip blew a whistle and ordered the ponies to go inside the tent. Randy tried to run away, but when the circus man raised his whip, Randy followed the other ponies into the tent. Randy knew that the circus man had made a mistake, and he knew that it was time for the circus ponies to do their act. Randy was nervous and afraid because he knew that he couldn't do any tricks. For a moment he thought about the merry-go-round and wished he were home. Oh, if he were only back home by his father's side! The circus band played and the people clapped and cheered when the black and white ponies entered the center ring. Randy knew that he didn't belong in the ring, and he was the last pony to enter. First, the ponies bowed to the crowd, and Randy tried to bow too. Of course, that was easy, but Randy wondered what the ponies would do next. When the circus man blew his whistle, the ponies walked around the ring, and Randy followed them. Then the ponies began to trot, and Randy trotted too. Then the ponies began to run. Faster and faster the ponies flew around the ring, almost too fast for little Randy. Around and around and around they went until Randy, tired and dizzy, suddenly stumbled and the little fellow fell to the ground with a terrific crash. And when Randy awoke he was still going around in a circle. Randy wasn't going around in a circle at the circus. He was going around in a circle on a noisy old merry-go-round. When Randy realized that he had been dreaming he was very happy. He was happy to be home. He was happy because he was close to his father. Never again would the little fellow want to run away, not even in a dream. Randy knew then that the best place for a little wooden pony was close to his father, prancing and galloping on a noisy old merry-go-round. Children, sometimes you run away from God, your Father, and when you run away from God you get into trouble and fall into sin. Like the wooden pony, don't think you can be happy away from your Father. You can't be happy when you are away from God. You can't be happy when you fall into sin. Boys and girls, the best place for you is close to God, your Father. Don't ever make the mistake of thinking that you don't need God. If, however, you make the mistake of running away from God and falling into sin, go back to God as soon as possible. Go to confession. God will always forgive you. God will always take you back. God bless you and take good care of yourself. End of chapter 21.